So we're gonna press record. Aiden, great to see you. Great to see Aiden. Oh my gosh. You know what's Gavaldik Chavra that our first Chabura on Elul. It was the first day of Elul. Aiden was on and we're mamash firing it up. If you want to go and see it, you could go on the YouTube channel. It's Elul and mamash, like we just fire each other up, and it was Gavaldik Month Baruch Hashem. So before we start, we're just going to open up the gates, and Yosef Farka, one of our holy Rebbes in stealing Torah, will share a little piece of what he sent to the group chat that not everyone's in. It's not exclusive, by the way. It's very inclusive. Maybe we should just post the link to the YouTube channel. But anyways, Farka, the floor is yours, buddy.
All right. So if there's one thing, I'll just share one line. Rav Nachman talks about how hitrachakut chilatu karvut. That distance is the beginning of closeness. And how is it possible? So what I've come to realize is that you have to use the distance as a beginning. And it's only true if we make it true. Because if we're distant, we can choose to stay in that place. We can. But Rav Nachman is saying that we also have the ability to use that distance as a tool for closeness, to begin the journey of closeness. Think about it. Like if Hashem is everything and he encompasses everything, like Ori and Sof, right? If Hashem is just everywhere, then there is nothing, then there isn't this world. We don't have any place. So the distance enables us to get close, basically. But the point is that I'm trying to say is that it's a choice. It's a choice.
Geschmack. So Farka just
hold on a minute.
us.
Hold on a minute. What's the means of the choice? About karcha tachai, about karcha tamei.
Wait. Say that again in English.
It says in the Gemara, in the Mishnah, against your will you live and against your will you die. So you might say it's a choice. I'm playing devil's advocate here, but it's a choice to say, oh, I see the light and I see that it's all one. But it's not a choice. Because Dvarim Emethem. I heard everything you said and I agree 100%.
Okay, but there's living and there's living. That's what we choose. You know, and there's the term killing time is literally about, you know, that there's a reason that we call it that. It's because that's death. You gotta live. That's us.
Who's Bocher there? Who's the Bacharta? Who's the Bocher?
That'd be us, I'd say.
You'd say that? Okay. Why do we ask Hashem to write us in the book of Tzadikim Gemurim?
Amen. So it's great to see.
I love you all.
Well, we always need a laugh. We need a laugh at the beginning. We need some excitement. I guess this was like in this is substituting the pregame music. I just don't know if the pregame music could work on my earphones, and I don't want to disturb the people in the Beit Midrash. And it's Gavaldik seeing Rafi win the bottom left corner. He's taking place of iPhone 2, which was used to be Samsung, but now it's iPhone 7. Gavalt, great to see Rafi win. Amazing. So we're gonna get right into it. We were just floating, which was exciting. We were flying. We were loving each other. You know, like all the words we're just out of love. Now we're gonna be grounded, and it is imperative for a person to be as strong as a lion. Immediately upon awakening and reciting Moda'ani prayer, you should rise with alacrity for the service of the Creator. Before you are overwhelmed by your evil impulse with various excuses not to rise and be outsmarted and seduced in the winter with this argument, how can you rise now so early in the morning when the weather is so cold? Or in the summer, you'll argue, how can you rise from your bed while you're still not satisfied with enough sleep? Or other similar claims. The evil impost knows very well the art of entrapping a person with all kinds of snares to prevent him from rising. Gewalt. So that's halfway through the halacha that we're going to. But pretty much when we wake up in the morning, Moda'ani, wake up like a lion, because Hashem believes in you, you should believe in yourself. Now we move on to Rabbi Nachman, or we're continuing with the Rabbi Nachman piece that Farco was telling us about so beautifully. The Rebbe once spoke to a man who was very far from God. He told him that he could help himself by sighing and groaning about his situation. We went through this Torah before, but it's just different now, right? We're a day before Yom Kippur, and I feel like this is a Torah we all need to hear and do chazar on. The Rebbe then revealed a lesson on the verse. There is an emptiness, which means a hevel, to what is done on earth. Hevel also means breath, or but yeah, it's like a breath, right? Or exhaling. When you sigh and groan with desire to return to God, this exhale breaks the rope of spiritual impurity that binds you and holds you back, right? So it's, I don't know, it was pretty crazy. I was in Efrat like a month ago, and it was pretty geschmack, like the whole experience, the davening, and obviously Rosh Shlomo Katz's community, it's a very special one. And when we started the Shemona Esrei, I just started hearing all these like moans, all these groans, these sighing. You know, I was just like, what's happening here? Like, what's happening? It was like, sounded a little off. It was throwing me off. But then obviously we look into it, and it's like Gewalt. They're just returning to Hashem, right? They're breaking all that impurity, and it's just them and Hashem. They're taking a deep breath. They're calming their minds. They're calming their heads, right? It's taking away the emptiness and it's filling it with kedusha. It's filling it with awareness and intention. You could then bound up with the holy if you do this, if you do this sighing and this moaning. In a number of later lessons, the Rebbe again explained how precious a person's sigh is. And we're taught a sigh, a moan, could sound weird, but it's really returning to Ribbon Shalom. It's wanting to return to the Ribbon Shalom. It's returning to yourself. It's taking a deep breath. Like before you take a foul shot in a basketball game, you take a couple deep breaths before you take the foul shot. You don't rush into things. Same too with our Avodas Hashem. We don't rush into things. The Shemona Esreis, the davenings, the learnings. Sing a little niggin, sigh a little. Take in a nice breath and exhale. So Gaval, we should all have the bracha that we should all know before we go to Yom Kippur, before we enter the space of Yom Kippur, that we are pure already. And a lot of us will hopefully be going to the mikvah and we'll be purifying ourselves again. But I just hope, bracha to you and I, is that once we're standing there, it's mincha, it's mariv, we're able to believe that we're pure. By believing that we're pure, hopefully we can use this sigh, this moan, which will help enable us more and more how special we are, how precious it is, and how precious our relationship is with Hashem. So Bezrat Hashem, I'm sorry if it was a difficult Torah. It was a difficult Torah for me, but and all of us are in the mikvah of Eretz Yisrael, of course, of Israel, of Bnei Israel. It's a very special mikvah. Maybe we should all dip right now. Anyone have anything to share? Comments, questions, anything? I'm going to the mikvah.
I like flavors with things in them.
One thing to say, just to add on what you said, sorry, the background noise in the yeshiva, Baruch Hashem. Jack's in the mikvah. I'm in the mikvah. We're all in the mikvah of Hashem. That's what it says in the Gemara. The last Yana de Yoma, as in the last Mishnah in Masechet Yoma, is the famous song of Amar Rabbi Akiva, Ashreichem Yisrael. Lifnei mi atem atahar mi matar etchem, avichem shabashamayim. Ma mikveh Yisrael Hashem, ma mikveh mataris etmeim, afa kodesh baruch hu matarit Yisrael. So it means that blessed are the nation of Israel that are able to gather together, basically, because the mikvah of Am Yisrael is godliness, is Hashem. Mikvah Yisrael Hashem. When Am Yisrael is connected and comes together in unison, they're mamish, they represent Knesset Yisrael, which in the Kabbalistic terms is the Shechina. And everyone knows that our whole goal is to get the yichud of the Kodesh Brichu and Shechinte, the Hashem and his higher realms and us in the lower realms. But that's not what I wanted to say. Not even close. I didn't even know I was going to go there. Just a quick thing, that we know that when man was created, Hashem blew into his guf nishmat chayim, nipach ba'apav nishmat chayim. He blew into his nose a living soul. And the Tanya explains that you only breathe, only nifach, like a breath, is from the inside. You can't just breathe like that, like you're just that's not a breath. But when you like take a deep breath and you blow out. So I think the kavana that I'm taking from the Torah you gave over, Jack, is that before we approach Yom Kippur, we have to know that our breath is able to create amazing things, like the breath of a Kodesh Baruch Hu created man with a deep breath, with a sigh, with a moan. He said, okay, I want this to be able to create. I want this breath that I'm giving man to create. And therefore we have the ability, just like Hashem had the ability and gave us the ability to create with breath, because he created with breath. So we should be zocha to create with the breath before we go into anything.
So deep, just so deep. Anyone else have anything to say? Thank you, Samson, Mamish, Samson's iPhone. Farka, Aiden, Kislasi, iPhone 7, Rafi, or Jeremy. Chevra, I'm in the deep waters. I'm in the mikvah. I'm in the Baal Shem Tov's mikvah. Gival. So, Bizrat Hashem, Chevra, we should really use the Torah that Samson just shared, the Torah that's Farka shared at the beginning, and we should take one nukuda from it and really use it for our Yom Kippur and for the rest of our lives. It's mamish so deep that Hashem breathed in us a living soul. We are so pure, we are so powerful, we are so godly. So maybe the breath will allow us to see that and notice that even more. And we should just be healthy, happy, successful, whether we're in Inglewood, mamish getting ready for college or started college already, but really preparing for Yom Kippur, like Aiden, whether you're in finance class like Farka, but mamish is stealing Torah, all learn from Farka. Mamish all learn from Farka. Jeremy Seidel just yearning to learn the Tivot Shalom together. Devalt, Rafi Wynn in Tel Aviv, extending the Herzliya community there. Kislasi just delivering light to all of Toronto. Mamish, we should all ask Kislasi what he does on a day-to-day. Mamish just hustling, giving light for people. It's amazing. And Samson's always in the Beit HaMikdash. I mean, he's just ready for it. He's ready. And we all just got to look at the middle of the screen and just yearn for it. It's a big Indian to yearn. Pray, the whole thing. It's really deep. Samson is a Kohen. So we all know that he'll be on the front lines. Bezrat Hashem, Chavra. Be well, be fired up. And Kol Tov.